All right, guys, welcome back to the Just Deal with It story, Isaac. Wow, like the fact you were able to fight the whole entire NWO is insane, Isaac. I hope you tell that story someday. Hope you tell that story. But all right, guys, welcome back once again to another episode of the Just Deal with It podcast. Today's episode is called "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Now, hold up. This is not going to be like a sports episode. Yes, it does involve sports, but it's a little bit of a reflection of that time that I was on a newspaper. Yes, people, I was on the cover, not on the cover, even though I like to think I was, but I was in a newspaper when I was in high school. My senior year, I was 17 at the time, and yes, I wanted to talk about that. I feel like I've always posted a picture on my Instagram, and everybody's always wanted some context. At least that's what I feel. I'm pretty sure some of you are probably tired by now, but hey, just deal with it. Just deal with it, okay? Yeah. I've talked about it so many times. It's like one of my biggest accomplishments. Just deal with it. That's all I got. Can I just have that one? All right. So I wanted to talk about that time, but so that's what this episode's going to be about. But before we get there, I just like to start to show off a little bit light. Start to show off with a little bit of something relatable. So we're recording this, I believe, 2 weeks in advance. So obviously you guys would have already heard the news. There could have been way more news already by then. But basically the mayor decided to reopen New York City, which is crazy. So July 1st, I believe, in July, New York City is going to be reopened, and I'm assuming it's going to be like all establishments will be open. So everything that was closed or things that had restrictions like will be under full capacity now, and people will be able to live their life normally. So yeah, I'm sort of on the fence about it. I don't think we have a proper vaccine yet, although some people are saying it has been working for them. Others haven't had such luck with the vaccine. So it is a little bit rough, because there's still so much confusion in the air. So you really don't know. Obviously you guys know my battle with COVID. I already dealt with it. But I'm concerned, what could happen to other people, if we start going back to everything is normal and we really don't have something in place that is 100% accurate vaccine. So that's my worry. I think New York City in itself is going to be a show. I mean, my timeline is always full of people just saying how it's going to be a movie, how they just going to go crazy, yo. I don't know if you guys remember when we had the last year, or I think last summer, we had the Steinway chapters where people were going stupid in Queens. I think it was called Stemmyway or Steinway. I don't remember the nickname they have for it, but it was a nickname that Steinway had, and people was going stupid. And I just feel like that's going to be the entire city once July hits, everyone's gonna be outside. It's gonna be madness, and I'm a little bit afraid. I'm afraid it was gonna go down. I mean, I feel like all the thotties now are gonna be like, okay, I gotta like put on my thotty suit, like superhero suit. They're gonna be like, okay, let's look at all the thotty outfits right now. All the F boys is gonna be like, oh my god, I have all this stuff I could wear now. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say Supreme because I wear Supreme myself, so I would never disrespect myself like that. But yeah, so I'm very. I can't wait to see what happens. Basically, I don't know what you think about it, Isaac. What do you think?
I don't think. I think it's too early.
You think it's too early?
I don't think it's the right time to be reopening everything. I feel like you said with the vaccines, we're not 100% sure if it's like the real deal. Like that's it. This is gonna save us from this horrific virus, because some people have different opinions on it. Some people have different experiences, but I don't know. I feel like it's too early to be reopening things. I think we should give it some time just to be safe, but I don't know.
That's the voice of reason right there, Isaac. I forgot to even introduce him. I think I even forgot to introduce myself. Like, wow. I was just so excited about today's topic, people. But let me introduce myself properly. I am the one and only Papi Shampoo, Julius Caesar, and then working the camera, working the audio, the man with the plan, the man who is in charge of making this what it is. Isaac is in the background, and he's the other voice you'll listen to. It's not God talking to me back. It's just Isaac. It's just Isaac, guys. So don't ever think I'm talking to myself or someone's in the background. It's just Isaac. But so you're saying if you were the mayor, Isaac, you wouldn't open the city. When would be a proper time then?
I don't know. Maybe beginning of next year.
Next year, cause you'll have like an actual proper vaccine, or like, or you're just saying like.
I would just guess the time to go with, but most likely I would wait until the cases go down and everybody starts getting vaccinated and we start getting safer vaccinations because people think it's dangerous. Just when everything starts getting safer, and then I would reopen.
Yeah, exactly. Even though right now I feel like people don't even care. I feel like New York's been open anyway. Like I think my fear is also like now, like people who are getting unemployment, if everything starts open up again, now like jobs are gonna go like crazy. Like people are gonna start looking for jobs now, and like so I don't know. It's a lot to take in. I just hope it's a good decision. That's not a job position I'm jealous of, to be mayor of a whole entire state, of a city. Mayor of New York City, because the governor is in charge of the state. Yeah. I know my laws, people. I know my legislation. But, I thought we should talk about that. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, how you feel about New York opening, or if wherever it is that you're watching this podcast from, let me know if you're like, how's it going in your state? I'm only occupied with what's going on in my state, but I'm always interested in knowing about other states and things like that. So let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I'm waiting. Hit that thumbs up. It helps people. It helps a lot. And I don't want to go on a rant about why you should subscribe or thumbs up. But anywho, let's get to what this episode is about. So, 2011. I had the opportunity to be on a newspaper. It was really awesome. And, you'll have the picture right here for you guys to see. And, I want to talk about how it came about. Because I don't think anyone realizes how it came about. So, at the time, I was in this program, which I spoke about this program in the last episode. So, please check out that episode. But the program is called Urban Dove. They just so happen to always, give the students that work for them opportunities, and within opportunities, they also always gave out rewards. Like there were times where we would get like just free sneakers, or they would auction basketballs. Like I have a Kobe Bryant autographed basketball that I won at an auction, not at an auction, they were just raffling it and I won a raffle. But they always gave stuff to the teenagers, us. And for this situation, I really don't know like how I was selected. I can't remember. I just know I got a phone call or an email from somebody in Urban Dove. I forgot who it was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I don't remember who it was, but they just basically reached out to me. They said, we weren't sure if you were a Mets fan or a baseball fan, and we wanted to see if maybe you'd be interested in a reporter coming to talk to you from the Daily News. They would come to like over here where I live at, and bring in a photographer. They'll take a picture of you and your mom, because the article was about like just me defying the odds and getting through so much things in my childhood. And it was like a piece like also celebrating Mother's Day. So it was going hand in hand, celebrating me and celebrating my mom. And we would have the opportunity to also go to Citi Field and meet Jose Reyes and like be in the actual baseball field. Like we got to touch the actual baseball field. Like we were in the we were where the baseball players like sit at and stuff. The bench. Like, but there's a name for it and I can't remember right now. But anyway, the funny thing about it, what's so funny about that particular part of the story is I'm not a Mets fan. I'm absolutely not a Mets fan. As you guys know, who know me very well, I am a Boston Red Sox fan. I love the Red Sox since 2002. Since I was like 5 and 6, I always loved the Red Sox. I hate the Yankees with a passion, and I never had a hatred towards the Mets because I never really saw the Mets as a team that I would hate, because the Mets weren't that successful. Like, they were just there. They reminded me more of the Red Sox, so I was never like okay. But when they asked me if I was a Mets fan, I mean, guys, what do you think I said? If you're telling me I could be on the newspaper and get to meet Jose Reyes, who I did know, I knew who Jose Reyes was, and I'm not gonna turn that down. Even as a 17-year-old, like, I know better than that. Like, it was hilarious though, because like even when I met him and stuff, I had to pretend like I had to wear a Met hat on, and it was comical, because even like kids in my high school who knew me, like when after that event happened, after I was on the newspaper and stuff, a lot of them were like, yo bro, you're not even a Mets fan, bro. And I was like, I know, what do you want me to do? And what's even more funnier was that even when I had met Jose Reyes, like at the time, I kept asking for David Wright, because I was a huge David Wright fan. Like, he was on the Mets as well. He was a third baseman. So I thought that was disrespectful. So I'm sorry, Jose Reyes, I'm pretty sure he doesn't remember that, but I remember that. And so yeah, they called me to do the interview. So the reporter came. I know the reporter called me, so I answered a bunch of questions on the phone, and just like basically to the best of my ability. I was only 17 at the time, so I'm like excited. I'm also nervous because I know this is gonna go on a newspaper. It's pretty much set in stone. And then the photographer comes, takes pictures of me and my mom. It was really cool photo. That's the one that you see right there. And basically they say, we'll see you on Mother's Day, and gave me tickets. And we went to get the tickets at the stadium, and Isaac was also there, which was really cool. Like, Isaac was like, I want to say Isaac was like 4 or 3. Do you remember anything about that event? Nothing at all. There's pictures of you with a Met hat on though. I know. Yeah, he was like so tiny. Like, he's such a little tiny munchkin, he was little Isaac, but he was there, and it was cool, because I got to share that experience with him too. And we got there, we got to the dugout, and we're talking, and it's like I'm still in like shock, like I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm literally standing in a baseball stadium, like not in the like seats, like I'm actually on the field, like You know, it just felt cool. What I do, like what I wish I would have done, but I don't think they would have gave me a chance, and I'm not sure if I even asked, was I wish I had asked them if I can take an at bat. Like if I had gotten a chance to swing, because I do know how to play baseball. So if I had gotten the opportunity to throw a pitch or to just even take a swing, you know, like I would have been elated. You know, I would have, that would have made the moment even better. But you know, as I was going through the motions, you know, and thinking about it, like it's just an experience, like, you know, that I just was soaking in, and I was like so proud of myself. You know, I'm a like kid from like Queens who moved so many times when he was young. I barely had friends, rough childhood. So this felt like a win, you know, like this felt like, damn, like good things are happening for me right now. And I couldn't be more grateful for the Urban Dove to make that happen. You know, they I don't know what it is about me that program just always decided to like reward. Like they were just so always giving to me, and I really appreciate them for that. So then I want to also talk about the fallout. So like what happened, because you guys are probably wondering, like, you know, what happened the next day. Like what was the next day like? I have a really good memory. Here's what I will say, that I don't think, I don't know if my mom still has it or not, but I didn't actually go to get a newspaper that day, which I regret, because I was on 2 newspapers. One of them actually got my name wrong, and it wasn't Cesar. They didn't write Cesar Hernandez. They wrote, oh man, I cannot remember. It was a different name, but it was 2 newspapers. Like, so if anyone could find the other newspaper of a boy with his last name Hernandez meeting Jose Reyes, that's me. They just messed up the first name. I don't know what went wrong there, but they messed up the name. But this is a true story. This is real, confirmed. It was another newspaper. It was not the Daily News. I don't know. I don't remember maybe the Post. Yeah, it could have been the New York Post, but if you guys could find that, it would be amazing. But so I didn't get a newspaper. I think my mom did, so she might have the original newspaper, but I didn't, and I was really bummed out about that, because that would have been a memory I would have kept, and I would have never, like, I would have had, you know, like, I would have had it, like, with me to show you guys, and I'm really bummed that I don't have it, you know. I'm happy that the internet exists, and I can actually have the link in my description below for you guys to read, so it's not like I'm making stuff up. But, you know, so then I get to school the next day, because this was on a Sunday, so I get to school on Monday. You know, I just, you know, you ever feel like me going into the school, you ever feel like I'm the shit now. Like, people about to know who I am. Like, I was excited, you know. I was like, you know, like, people are gonna know exactly who I am. And this is the first time in my life I got to experience the New York City, New York, the classic New York feeling of when someone does good in their life. Guys, do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know what it is? All right. So I come in, and nothing happens. So nothing happens. Nothing happened. Nobody was excited. Nobody knew, because here in New York City, people are too busy living their own life. And I learned that a long time ago. That was the first time I learned that. I learned that no one cares. Like, no one cares. Like, unless you bring it up. And at the time, as a 17-year-old, it wasn't a big deal to me either, which is like mind blowing when I think about it. Like, when I think about how I treat that moment now, and I get so excited talking about it, that's not how I was when I was that age. Like, when that happened to me, I actually was not that excited. It just seemed to me like this was just the beginning of many things that were going to happen. And I kind of feel like I took it for granted, but at the same time, like, I felt like I also got a taste of, like, yeah, like, no one cares. Like, that's how it felt. I went to Health Professions High School, which I have mixed feelings about that high school. I have mixed feelings. But needless to say, you know, I am grateful for being in that school. Something that did happen that was really cool, which some people did care. I don't want it to be like no one cares. Like, oh my god. Like, no, some people did care. Let me Let me be on record. But so the school gym teacher found out about it because obviously gym teachers, sports, they are huge into reading newspapers. So they did see me on the newspaper. So they actually posted it on the wall of their newspaper, on the wall of their bulletin board, and more people got to see it then. An English teacher that I had at the time, who I can't remember her name, but shout outs to her. She actually made copies. She made copies of the newspaper article and gave it to every kid in the class. I wasn't there. I cut class that day. I cut class, right? It's crazy. I cut class that day. Like cause I don't like going to school. It's well known. I was bad at school. Like I cut class so much in high school. I was a beast. I'm not something I'm bragging about. Stay in school, kids. But I just didn't go to class that day, and it sucks because I missed out on an opportunity to, I guess, get those roses I always wanted. Get that feeling of like, yeah, like I did like something great happened to me. But she printed it out, and like some students like came to me afterwards and said, because they found me in the hallway, you know, because I mean that's where I was chilling in the hallways. They were like, "Yo, you were on the newspaper," and it was exciting, you know. Like it was a feeling that lasted maybe like about a week or so, but you know, it feels. It feels like it had I been in any other state, like had this happened like in Utah or like Kansas, like I would have been celebrated. I would have been like a king. That's how I feel. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys disagree, but I feel like I would have been like on a, it would have been like that opening scene in like Gladiator when like the people are like looking at the king and stuff. That's how it would have felt. It felt, had it been any other state. Had it been any other state, maybe not California because they're sort of the same, but since it was New York, I just felt like I'm just everyone else. I guess I didn't do anything worthy, but I also kind of respect that about my city. You know that like you have to do something so goddamn impressive. Like you got to cure AIDS in order to get respect in New York. Like you literally have to do something so impressive for people to respect you in this state. But yeah, and that was the story. Like I'm not sure if I left anything else out. I know my mom was excited. Like, oh, I can speak about how my mom was that day too. So she was she knew Spanish, so it was actually like cool because she was talking to Jose Reyes in Spanish and stuff, and she had a really great time. Even though she doesn't watch baseball like that, she still was excited about the opportunity, and she it was like a time where like, you know, that mother son like connection felt like stronger than ever. It was amazing. It was amazing, and that was the year that a lot of great stuff happened to me too. So that year, that 2011 year for me, will always be one of the most memorable years for me, because like right after that newspaper article, I then they have an award ceremony at the Urban Dove where they hand out like certificates of like completion, but they do it in like ranks. So it's like really cool because like you have like beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then you have like this level that like at the time it was exciting because